Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome all of you to the second day of 7-day national level online faculty development program on outcome-based education and essential AI tools for teachers, which is being organized by the Internal Quality Assurance Cell of Carmel College Autonomous Mala, Thrissur in association with the Kerala State Higher Education Council. So we would like to welcome Dr. Sunil Job K, Adjunct Professor, Marian College, Kuttikanam, Autonomous, and all the other FDP resource persons, managers, directors, principals, vice principals, representatives from management, HODs, IQAC coordinators, and all the faculty members. So about this FDP, this will be a 7-day program with live sessions held at the same time, that is from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. The same link will be used for all the 7 days. And if in case you are unable to attend a live session for any reason, recorded sessions will be accessible on the LMS on the next day. So if you have any trouble in attending the online session, you could also join the YouTube live session in the link given in the chat. So all participants who have paid the processing fee will receive access to the LMS in which video recordings for all the days and participation certificate through the LMS. So please remember that only those who have made the payment will be able to avail LMS access and receive a completion certificate. Others can attend only the online sessions for free. So if you haven't made the payment yet, kindly ensure the payment of rupees 500 is being made using the account details provided in the chat. So my name is Rakhi Raj. I'm a business analyst at IPSR. I'll be the moderator for this event. Also, a reminder about LMS. LMS access has been sent via email to all of you, those who have registered so far. So for those who had made the payment today, LMS access will be provided by tomorrow morning. So if you have any queries regarding LMS and LMS access, kindly contact the numbers given in the chat. So now let's move forward with today's session by Dr. Sunil Job on the topic Introduction to OBE and Designs of Outcomes. So Dr. Sunil Job KA, Adjunct Faculty, Marian College, Kuttikanam, Autonomous, has 30 plus years of experience in teaching and 10 plus years in corporate consultancy. He holds a PhD in mathematical education and has been associate professor at MG University College of Teacher Education from 1999. He has started his career as an assistant professor at Carmela Rani Training College, Kollam. He has served as visiting team member of NCTE for grant of recognition and as a resource person for the Affiliation Renewal Committee of MG University. As an active blogger in cutting edge technologies in IT, education, and data science, Dr. Job has published a few articles in national journals and authored a few academic books and a reference manual in mathematics. He has served as resource person for a number of faculty development programs in outcome based education, data science, e-learning, etc. So currently he is serving as an adjunct professor at Marine College, Kuttikannam, Autonomous, and a chief of academics at IFSC Solutions Limited. A warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you, Raki. That was a very wonderful introduction. Let me know whether my sound is audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. So, once again, I'm welcoming you to the second day of our long journey. Long journey in the sense 7 days faculty development program. And actually, in the morning, I've just visited our LMS, and I'm very happy to see that most of you have started exploring the possibilities of LMS. Actually, the LMS was so customized in such a way that you will be able to access the day by day schedule. If you are in the first day, you will be able to access the content in the which has been available in the first day. Likewise, when you progress, you'll be able to access the content related to that particular topic which we have been already discussed, because that makes a lot of senses, because you'll be current with whatever thing that we have discussed, and you can go into the LMS and you can explore the real life of OBE there. But still, I could find that some of you who have already taken the access as yet to visit our LMS, because once you have taken it, definitely you should explore the possibilities, because the real life is there, because there are a lot of activities that could be done, a lot of resources that could be read, and we have prepared a lot of materials related to these OBE white papers regarding outcome-based education, assessment strategies, AI tools. A lot of things are there. So once, if you have taken that this LMS access, definitely don't miss that opportunity there. And even you'll be having a prototype, this computation engine. Actually, this is something a matter of concern to those who have been there in the already implementing outcome-based education. So you can just get the flavors of a prototype engine for calculating the attainment. So don't miss the opportunity. The time is limited. Keep going. And also, I think you have already started. You can just post your queries at the forum, which has been active. They keep the forum live so that a lot of interactions and collaborations can happen. And also, there is also one section to share your experiences with the different AI tools that you've been using, so that because this is a peer team, that is the people who are in the working in the same dimension, same levels, they can share their experiences, they can share the different tools that they've been using, so that we can grow together. So help, and we can grow together. That is win and win opportunity should be there. That is one of the important need for exploring this LMS2. So coming to this today's section, and last day we had a very wonderful discussions on Bloom's taxonomy, and I would like to say that the Bloom's taxonomy is to a greater extent the soul of outcome-based education, because if you want to go with outcome-based education in its right sense, in every phases, as I've mentioned in the previous day, outcome-based this Bloom's taxonomy will be the leading light that takes you to the right path. So obviously, now I am sure that you are much that is you have refreshed your knowledge. I don't say that the Bloom's taxonomy is new to you. You have already refreshed the knowledge of Bloom's taxonomy, so that we can go much ahead with all our vigor. So today we can go with the today my section will be on the introduction to outcome based education. So I think if you want to have a very clear of implementation of outcome based education, the clarity of the concept should be very, very important. And outcome based education is is being designed in such a way that everybody should have a clarity on what they're doing. So actually, the outcome-based education throws lies on that. That is bringing clarity to the things that we are doing. So we will just check it out how this happens. How can we get clarity? How outcome-based education helps you to bring clarity of what we are working out. So here we go. I think I have not shared my screen. So let me share my screen first. Okay. So as usual, I have two questions. One, whether my uh, screen is visible and my sound is audible. If both is okay, then we can go along. You can put it in chat. Let me see. I was just monitoring the chat also. Okay, so everything is fine. So thank you for your response. We can go ahead. So let me put this in presentation mode. So this is our section that we'll be going with introduction to OBE and formulation of outcomes. These are the key points that we will be looking out in this section. So obviously, before taking a journey, it will be better to check out what is the agenda, what we have, what we'll be serving for today. So what is our menu for this noon? So this is the menu that we'll be going along. That is, we'll be trying to bring about the first thing that we are going to do is that what and why of OB. That's something very important, because if you want to get involved in some activities wholeheartedly, these questions has to be answered, what and why. So definitely we'll be answering that. That will bring more clarity on the importance of OBE. Then we'll be going with the building block of outcome-based education. That's what the major theme of today's section. Uh, what are the building blocks? What are the important components related to the outcome-based education? These are the building blocks that is been showcased below. That is graduate attributes, program educational objectives, PO, PSOs, course outcomes. And the highlight of today's section is that I'll be just giving you, obviously you will be much ahead with the outcomes. You would have prepared outcomes for your courses, and I'll be just sharing with you a small formula for writing an outcome, so that it becomes easy, and your outcome will stand out like anything. A small formula for writing an outcome, and obviously together with formula I'll be just giving you four criteria for checking whether your outcome is up to the mark. That is, the quality check of a good outcome will be there. And also we'll be just that is what we have been discussing will be about a general outcome, and we'll be standardizing it to design a PO, that is program outcome, program specific outcome, and course outcome. And we'll be detailing about what is the today's task for LMS. So this is our roadmap for today. So we will begin with what and why of OBE. So that is something very important. So I don't think that there is a slide which is better than this to convince you why there is a need for OBE. So actually, this is something that I've taken from a higher education journal, that is Enhancing University Education, because this has been a report for the status of the students who have completed a graduation program. It's a technical, it's a BTech program. So this is the status of the students who have completed a graduation program. So you can just have a look on about this one. You can just have a look on what is it. Okay, you can just check it out. What you could. So I'll be asking because I want to keep my chat. I will not be able to see the chat here. Okay. So I am just going to ask one question. What can you say about the result? This is about the status of the students who completed a BTech program. Oh, that is that is a graduation program. You can put it in that way. So what is the what can you say about the result part? Is it a good result? Oh, what is the percentage of pass? You can put it in chat. I want to make it interactive because the time is old, because afternoon time, it's obviously feel sleepy. So getting involved in something will keep us alive. Yeah, percentage of pass is 84. Is there any other opinion? Only 84. You can see this is x-axis. From x-axis, from this point to this point, these are the passed students, the big thing, and this is the failed students. Failed students mean those students who are having supplementary. Yeah, now the things have been changing. 91 percentage of the students have passed the examination. Definitely for a graduation program, especially for a BTech program, that is a very good result, because we know that there are a lot of supplementary comes that is some supplementary papers comes, because it will be very difficult to clear it in first hand. So it is a good result. 91 percentage of the students passed is a good result, and there's a possibility of putting it in a flex, right? So it is a good result. But you could see, if you're looking only along the x-axis, okay, 91 percentage of the students have passed. That's good. But you can see something going up here in the y-axis. What is this? it showcases that is the students are who can't do the learned task and who can do the learned task. That is, the students are given with some live task related to the trade that they have been doing. That is, some task related to the area of the study, in which is more related to the live environment workspace. So they have been provided with some activities related to the area that I have studied, which has been relevant in the workspace. And there you could see that only 7% of the students could do the things very successfully. Is it a good thing? No, never. Because this is the fallacy of that educational system. Because that has been already always these the CEOs of big companies often says that the only about 6 to 7% of the students who are passing out of the graduation level is job fit, and the other students who are passing out, they have to spend about 5 to 6 months training these students and streamlining them to that particular job to take up their responsibilities. This is not fair, because after having spending about 4 or 5 years in a graduation programs, specializing in the special trade, and after completing successfully with the very distinctive marks, they are not job fit. Again, they need some a period of training for about 6 to 1 year of training to make them fit to take up the job responsibilities. This is not this is the fallacy of the educational system. And not only that, they are not competent in self to face the challenges of the life, etc., etc., etc. So this is something very important, and that should be viewed very seriously. So the outcome based education is only 7% of the students are found to be very confident graduates who can be employed, who could be employed in the particular area which they could be they are trained, or they have studied, etc., etc., etc. And the rest students, about 93 percentage, are confused graduates. Probably in the upcoming sections by Suresh Nambudri, he have done an ethnical study, and there he'll be presenting out the pathetic conditions of the students who we're passing out. So you will be realizing that. So what is outcome based education's major focus? The outcome based education focus is to transfer this red area to this green area, and also the blue area to this green area, so that the outcome based education is a educational approach that focuses on assurance of learning. They want to make the students academically fit, as well as they have to fit to make up their life, as well as to make up a career. That is what outcome based educations broadly what they are focusing on. So in our traditional system, our major concern is academical soundness. We want the students to get good marks in the exams, pass in the exams, and get good marks. And the other thing, that how do they perform when they pass out of that educational stream, how successfully they can live their life in a better way, how better he can live as a better citizen and productive citizen, how well he can make up the this what I could say, the career space or workspace, how well he'll be able to progress in his workspace. That is not been very seriously viewed. So outcome based education is putting up a ladder in an axis along the y axis also. So the focus of that outcome based education is that they want the students to be academically sound, as well as they should be able to do what the particular educational system intend them to be. So that is what. So we could find that a set of attributes and competencies are tied up together with the academical content, so that the students should become academically sound, as well as they should become competent to meet the challenges of life, career, etc., etc. So that we have to nourish and equip them with the different attributes or competencies that make them successful. So this is what outcome-based education's significance. Now I think it is clear. So outcome-based education is an approach in of education system which transforms all the students into this green area, so that they'll be able to know about their content, about their area of study, and they will be more productive, and they'll be able to know and do. That is something what outcome-based education focuses. So I think this will bring clarity to this. So if you're putting the outcome-based education in its right way, in its right means, definitely that will make enhance the quality of the system. That will enhance the quality of the system. And the quality of the system is decided not on the infrastructure and resources, but we decide the quality on the basis of the students passing out of that education system, how well they'll be able to progress in their life and career. And that is the Q factor that decides the quality of that educational institutions. That's why when you go with the this and not NRF ranking, NAC accreditations and all, a lot of queries is been asked regarding how the students who have passed out, what is their status, about the alumni. A lot of questions are there. It is because to bring out the Q factor. That's something very important. So now we have just checked out why there is why. We are trying to answer the two questions, why and what. We have already answered why. Why? What is the importance? And this is what outcome-based education means. You can just go and read the red area. This red, know and able to do, isn't it? The outcome-based education is a model of education that deviates from traditional focus. In the traditional system, we are giving more emphasis on the academical inputs. Academical inputs. We want the students to be bookworms. So traditional focus is on the institute provides. Traditional focus on what the institution provides the students in favor of making the student demonstrate what they know. That means x-axis academical, and what they are capable to do, that y-axis, which I've shown in the previous. So we want them to be both competent, as well as this academically sound. That is what outcome-based education focuses. So being the first level, this first level of outcome-based education, it is better to check out the outcome-based education is based on these four pillars, or we could say that four principles. One is clarity of focus. That's what outcome-based education. It will bring clarity of focus not only to the teachers but also to the students. Clarity of focus. So why? This needs a little explanation. Why? What is clarity of focus? So let me. It is just if I just put the difference between objective and outcome. Objective and outcome, because in the traditional system, the teachers are more concerned about the objective. That is, they are focusing on just what they have to do, what they have to do. But outcome-based education is not teacher-centric; it is student-centric. What the students should evolve, the end product is been showcased first. That is what outcome-based education focuses. I will just give you an example. For example, you think this is an example which I often give to the sections which I used to handle, and I think it's something very beautiful. Suppose if you're going to build a house, Obviously you'll be having plans. That's okay. You thinking that you're going to build a house, and you have got about some 20 cents of land, and you want to build you have a budget of about some 40 to 50 lakhs, and you need 4 bedrooms. Likewise, you will be having a lot of calculations. So what you intend is the objective, building a house. So what you do, if you want to build a house, the first thing is that you will be making consultations with an architect. You have gone to that architect, and you are discussing with that architect that these are the something that my inputs. I am having a budget. This is my land. This the area is here. The shape of the land. All these things you'll be discussing. I want about some 2,500 square feet, or nearly about 3,500 square feet. I have 4 bedrooms. I need a good, pretty big living room. There should be a puja room, like that. You'll be giving a lot of discussions. So at this point of time, both the architect as well as you are having an objective of building an house. But while you're discussing, the clarity will not be there. What will be the end result? What will be the end result will not be there, isn't it? It will be evolving only lately at the final stage. But if you're doing the same thing in another way, suppose if you have a lot of attraction to a particular house, you are taking that architect to that particular house and says that I need that is with the permission of the that particular the owner of the house. You can go and get the permission, and go with an architect and say to the architect that I want exactly the same house. So is there a difference between these two? Obviously the first thing is that you are having an intention. This is the objective, but the clarity is not there. What will be the final that is the final format or the final shape of the house? But when you are going with the architect and you're showing them this is the house that you want to build, definitely the end point is clear. So what happens? The architect will take that end point first, and he will design it in accordance. He will be designing the entire thing in accordance with this endpoint. This is exactly what outcome-based education focuses. What the students have to do after completion of the course will be showcased first, and you are that is you are driving the students to this particular endpoint. That is what outcome based education focuses. So does it brings clarity? Definitely, because this is the final thing that the student should be able to do. So what all type of activities you should give to the students in order to meet the endpoint. So that is outcome based education. So now you can just check it out. Clarity of focus is there. Before they are just discussing, these are the intentions, objectives are there, but when outcome is being showcased first, then everything has become clear. Clarity of focus is there. And how this architect will make the plan. He will design from the end point to the initial point, designing down. Then high expectations, as we know, the and the previous Bloom's taxonomy, high expectations. That is, everybody can learn. That is, you cannot segregate. If I put the activities in such a way, will the students will be able to attain that level? Definitely, the outcome-based education is built. The basic philosophy of outcome-based education is that everybody can learn if you are giving the right thing in the right way at the right time, and expanded opportunities, because we know that yeah, no two students are alike. So we have to put a diversification of activities in an outcome based education for the realization of the end goals. So this is what the basic principles of outcome based education. And this is the building block of outcome based education. You can just go and check it out, whether these technical terms are very familiar, because an institution who have already implemented the outcome based educations, you will come across these technical terms or terminologies. Obviously every institutions will be having a vision and mission. Obviously it is the vision and mission that decides the modus of operandi of any institutions. Obviously every institutions will be having there. And you could see that there is one odd man here, one odd man. Only one thing: program educational objectives. and the rest of the things are outcomes. So in an outcome based scenario, or in an outcome based topology, there is only one odd man, that is program educational objective, and rest all the things are being showcased as outcome. Okay, we will discuss why it is so. So you can program educational objectives, and below the program educational objectives, there is program outcomes and program specific outcomes, and below that comes course outcomes, and below that topic wise outcomes. So the a flow of outcomes comes from top to down. So just like flowing, just like a waterfalls, it comes from top to down. So the formulation of an outcome based education curriculum should flow from top to down, should flow from top to down. That is why you could see that one arrow coming from top to down. That is, development of the curriculum should go from top to down. Why top to down? First, you have to decide what is the educational objective. Not you, that is the college have to decide. And it is from the educational objectives you identify what should be the program outcome and program specific outcome. And it is on the basis of that program outcome and program specific outcome, you select what are the courses which you could accommodate into the program, so that these program outcomes and program specific outcomes are met. So you could see that they are coming from top to down. And you can see one thing going from bottom to top, that is attainment. So assessment and attainment should happen from bottom to top. You are not directly going and assessing what to what extent the program educational objectives are attained, or what extent the program outcome or program specific outcomes are attained. We are assessing it from the grassroots level. That is, you are assessing the students' progress from the different assignment topics, assignments, seminars, portfolios, projects, examinations, which you are giving with related to the different courses. And on the basis of that, you will be calculating course level out, the course level attainment. And on the basis of the course level attainment, you will be calculating program outcome to what extent that they have attained a PO level. Likewise, it should go from bottom to top. So this is the topology. This is what the building block of outcome based education, or the architecture, I would like to put it in that way. Architecture of the outcome based education will be like this. So here in our consequent slides, we'll be going through one by one. Program educational objective, what is that? Program outcome, program specific outcome, what is that? What is course outcome? So this is what we are going to check it out in our upcoming slides. So I think this is figure, this house-like figure is familiar to you. Yeah, it's not a cartoon. Just want to put one question to you. There was one message which has been said, no audio. Am I audible? Can anyone put yes in the chat?
You are audible, sir.
Yeah, because I have seen someone has given no audio. Probably it's in that end. Okay, you could just what is happening here? This is a person with a very comfortably standing with a book, and there in the right side, contemporary educational system. What is the difference? You can put it in chat. I want you to be active here. What is the difference? This is the traditional system. The traditional system, the student very actively involved with something which is there in the handbooks. And this is the contemporary system, or the outcome based system, which would like the students to be. What is the difference? What is the difference here? This is the traditional system. What is the traditional system? The guy who's standing here is to a greater extent a book. That is, he is more important only in the academically about the how much marks they could get, like that, isn't it? What is the specialty here? This is what outcome based education focuses. This is what outcome based education. I will just put up one joke here. Actually, when I was been having an offline section for one of the college, one of the teacher, it's for a fun. What is the difference that you could see? The teacher has remarked that here this guy is not having a specs. Here this guy is having a specs. Okay, it's a joke. So the difference is, here they are multitasking. That is, they want the students to be academically sound, but they want them to be competent with a multiple competencies. The first slide which I've shown, academically soundness is there, x-axis should be there, and one y-axis is going. That is, they should be able to do whatever related to that particular area of study. They should be successful in life, and whatever competencies makes them successful in life and career, that also have to be imparted to the students and make them fit. So all these things are those competencies. What are they? They should be having this the time management skill. Then they should be tech savvies. They should be creative thinkers. They should be having, likewise, they should be multitaskers. So that is what the contemporary system want the students to be. So this is the differences. So the traditional system give more access, more importance to the that means the score wise attainment in their examinations and how much their marks. But here they want the students to be very dynamic. They should be having better communication skills. They should be problem solvers. They should have creativity. They should have time management skills. They should have the ability to work in a team. Likewise, they should be multitaskers, and only that will make them successful in whatever space that they are. So this is the paradigm shift in that education system, and the outcome based education is also is being molded in this paradigm, that they want the students to be multitaskers. Now we'll be going with the one by one different components. I've just shown you one diagram, one building block there. There we found that at the top there was mission and mission. Definitely that will every institutions will be having the mission and mission. And below that, one Ortman. What is that Ortman? Program educational objective. What is program educational objective? So when you are putting up a outcome-based education manual, obviously you will be giving a program educational objective, program outcomes, some clarity to be brought about that. The program educational objectives are nothing but the goals of the program. Goal means they are futuristic. That is why we call it as objective. What the students should be capable of doing after passing out of the examination, after passing out of the educational system, or passing out from your college, what the student should be able to do within the first few years. That is the goal of your program. Why do I say first few years? After about 20 to 25 years, it is not what you gain from the college will lead you. Within 1 2 3 years, the one of the major influencing factor of every graduate who passes out of that educational institution is what they have obtained from their institution. But later, after 10 to 15 years, it is their life, their activities through which they have been progressing will redefine them. So the first definition is from what they have got from the institution. That is why I told that first few years. So before formulating a program, this outcome-based education, the first thing that you have to take into consideration is that what should be the goal of the program. That is what the students are expected to attain. Expected. Expectation means futuristic. That is why objective. What the students are expected to attain after the first few years after completion of the program. Obviously, we can think after a graduation program, what are the priorities? Definitely, the first priority is that they want to get into a very good career, isn't it? Obviously, sometimes after graduations, they may have to go for higher educations. They may be interested for going for PG courses or for research or whatever it may be, or some other some other field of study. They may be interested, and obviously, after passing, they have to live as a good citizen, a productive as a citizen which is accountable to the society, accountable to the nation, accountable to the environment, accountable, like a lot of accountability comes because they have to live in the different spaces there. So likewise, we have to just identify how the students have to fit into the social metrics. That's what. So the answer to this will give you a right set of program educational objectives. And these program educational objectives, it is not the teachers, it is the institutions while formulating the curriculum, they have to identify that. And it is from this, that is what we have to do, what the student should be able to do. So our education plan should begin from this point: program educational objectives. And what are program okay, I have just given a dummy program educational objectives. You can read it. A dummy, that is, the graduate will be able to demonstrate competency and leadership to become professional, employee, and entrepreneur, leading to successful career or pursue higher education. It's something clubbed together. All these statements are focuses either for a better career or for a higher education. So this is one of the objective program. Then graduate will be able to demonstrate commitment towards preservation of environment and sustainable development of society, because they have to live in and with the society as well as the physical and the environment around this. So they have to be accountable. Accountable means they have to they should, there is a give and take with the individual and the society, so they have to be made fit for that. And obviously the graduates will pursue lifelong learning in generating innovative solutions and practices using research and complex problem solving skills. Okay, just I've taken a few DevMe program educational objectives. So every institutions, they have to discuss with the stakeholders for formulation of these program educational objectives. So once the educational goal is set, then it is from these educational goals we have to identify what are the program outcomes and program specific outcomes. So now, the program outcomes, how can we identify the program outcomes? We have identified what should be the goal of the educational program. We have identified. So the from these educational goals, that is, we have to identify what are the this output that we should give to the students for the so that they'll be able to be successful in accordance with the program educational objectives. So what all things that you should provide to the students, what all product that you should give to the students, for what? For making them successful in the lines of their educational goals. So that products are nothing but the program outcome or the graduate attribute. What is the difference with graduate attribute and program outcome is that the graduate attribute is the core. And when they are written in the form of a program statement, we call it as program outcomes. So from where do this program outcomes comes? It is defined in the lines of the educational goals. So what are the products that you should provide to the students, or what are the takeaways you should give to the students, so that they will be successful, they will be able to be successful in the lines of program or program educational objectives, or I would better say that educational goals. That is, sometimes if they want to be successful, if one of the program educational goals is a career, what all thing that you should give to the students to have a better career, so you can define it in terms of competencies. It can be communication skills, it can be problems solving ability, it can be critical thinking ability, or it could be that is leadership quality. Likewise, what all graduate attribute you should provide to the students, so that they become successful in the lines of educational objectives. So that is we can call it as program outcome. The program outcomes are nothing but graduate attributes written in the format of an outcome statement that we'll be discussing in the later statement. So for the time being, instead of using program outcome, I'll be using the term graduate attributes. So from where do this graduate attribute come? It comes from the program educational objective. So what are the graduate attributes which we should give to the students, so that they will be able to realize the or actualize the educational goals or program educational objectives. So now let us take the first one. The first graduate attribute that the first program educational objective that I have showcased in the previous slide. I have written it here. What is this? The graduate will be able to demonstrate competencies and leadership to become professional, employee, or entrepreneur, the person who is giving a job, leading to a successful career or pursue higher education. So one educational goal is that we want to make the students job fit according to the area of the study or pursue higher education. For that, what all attributes you should give to the students? You can put it in the chat. I'm just checking it. What all graduate are? Suppose if it is a BCom program, if it is a BCom program, or it is an MBA program, what all graduate attribute you should give, you should ensure in the students. You should ensure in the students so that they will be successful. They will be having a successful career. What all competencies? I will say that graduate attributes are a bundle of competencies. What all competencies? Okay, critical thinking should be there. So that is one end product. That is one end product. The student should ensure when you leave the when the students leave the college. Decision making ability. Okay, very good. Emotional management. Likewise, you can have a number of graduate attributes you will be able to identify. So this is how the graduate attribute is identified. So the graduate attributes are identified in the lines of the program educational objectives. What all graduate attribute you should ensure in the students so that they become successful in the lines of educational goals. So the UGC has given a set of graduate attributes for you to for the institutions to adopt in the lines of the educational goals. So the educational goals they have already formulated. So what all graduate attributes will be apt for the actualization of the goals that you have already formulated should be first identified. So the UGC has given a set of graduate attributes. Here, what are their? Disciplinary knowledge, communication skill, critical thinking, problem solving, analytical reasoning. So these are the end products you should ensure in the students while they live. While they live. Why this? Because only because that is you can identify few of these graduate attributes which is apt for your educational goals. And the outcome based education is a methodology where you have to fix the end first. So you have to select these what should be the graduate attribute the student should ensure while they live. That should be identified first, and you have the entire curriculum or the entire college activity should be streamlined so that these graduate attributes are met. That is how this outcome-based education is been progressing. So there is a set of graduate attributes there. But for the engineering colleges, for the BTech colleges, the NBA has already provided a set of 12 graduate attributes or program outcomes, because they don't have that is the freedom to change. They can customize it in the lines of these graduate attributes. Because why so is that because we know that the beginning of the outcome based education in the current scenario is rooted from our membership in the Washington Accord. So Washington Accord, we have been the member of Washington Accord right from 2013. So in the Washington Accord, those countries who has been there in that particular treaty, they are that is having a global mobility. The students who are the graduate students, the BTech students who are graduating from the Tier 1 engineering colleges in India could continue their education or take higher or can go for placements in these countries who is there in this accord, in this treaty, like UK, France, like that. There are a number of countries which is there. So what they have been said, that there is a global standardization. All these countries which comes under the graduate, under the Washington Accord, should adopt these same what graduate attributes for the engineering program. So that is a global standardization, and they should adopt outcome based education and ensure that these graduate attributes are met. So there are two things which has been happening. The students are getting a global mobility. They are getting our education system into a global standard, so that they will be able to pursue their higher education, higher studies, or get job even without any equivalence or transcripts or equivalence or anything like that. So the members of this Washington Accord has agreed to adopt these 12 program outcomes as the standard outcome for the engineering programs, and they have agreed to adopt outcome based education, so that the outcome based education is that these outcomes should be met. And those institutions who is been accredited by the tier 1 engineering colleges who has been accredited by NBA, the students who are pursuing education under these colleges can very well go to these the countries who has been the member of the Washington Accord and pursue their education, or they can go for higher educations there without any equivalence, or they can get job or anything. So this has been guaranteeing a global mobility, and now we have been adopting this outcome based education in the entire higher educational scenario. One thing is that to maintain a global standard and also to enhance the Q factor in our education. So now I think it is clear. First, we have defined program educational objectives, and it is from the program educational objectives we identified what are the graduate attributes we should ensure in the students for actualization of these program educational objectives, educational goals. And these graduate attribute, we have seen that communication skill, it is a single word. Problem solving ability, it's a single word. Critical thinking is a single simple word. Lifelong learning, it is a single, that is a number of competencies, that is a single word. And when this graduate attribute written in the form of an outcome statement, we can call it as the program outcome. So in essence, both the graduate attribute and program outcomes are both same. One is the graduate attribute is nothing but the core competency, and when it has been translated in the form of verbally written in the form of what the students are capable of doing, we call it as program outcome. So both of them are literally same. And now this is a statement which I have been included. The program outcomes, that is what the students should able to do on completion of the program. That is what we can call it as program outcome. So what is program outcome? They refers to the knowledge, skills, and attitudes. Knowledge, skills, and attitudes that the student should have at the end of the program. So the outcome-based education is nothing but identifying the program outcomes first and ensuring this by the end of the program. That is what the outcome-based education means. So in an outcome-based education, identifying the program outcome initially and ensuring it at the end of the program. And how do we identify it? It is from the educational goals. The program outcomes are identified. So these program outcomes are nothing but what are the competencies that you should ensure in the students so that they become successful in the lines of the educational goals that you have identified. So this is the essence of outcome based education's formulations. And now you will be having a thought on program outcomes and program specific outcome. What is the difference? So in a college, there will be multiple programs will be there. Multiple programs. There will be management studies. There will be these science students. There will be language students, economic students. Like that, there will be a number of programs will be there. So every program will have its specific outcomes. That is, the management students should be having some specific competencies related to the field of study or the trade to which these subjects are connected. A science students, they should be having a separate. A computer science student should have a separate set of competencies which is relevant to the particular area of study. But all these programs will be having some common competencies which is essential for all. So that common attributes, so common attributes we can call it as program outcome. Program common attributes in the sense communication skill, it is needed for everyone. Environmental consciousness, it is essential for everyone. Likewise, critical thinking, problem solving ability, all these things are something that all the graduates should commonly and should be ensured. And those which is program specific, we can call it as program specific outcomes. So below program educational objectives, we identified two components there. One, the common competencies essential for all the graduates pursuing education. If it is graduate level, postgraduate, all the postgraduates pursuing education, and that which is relevant to the particular program could be considered as the program specific outcome. So this refers to the knowledge, skill, and attitude. Have you identified these three things before? Knowledge, skills, and attitudes. Knowledge, skills, and attitudes. Is my screen changing? Hello? I would like to know whether my screen is changing. Okay. The screens are changing, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So knowledge, skills, and attitude in the Bloom's taxonomy, we identified knowledge. Knowledge means that which is related to the cognitive domain. Skills, which is related to the psychomotor domain, and attitudes,
Sir,
which is okay.
now
Please.
it's on program outcome and specific outcome slide.
Yeah. We are in the program outcomes and program specific outcomes. I'm just making some detailing about that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so this the program outcomes and program specific outcomes we'll be detailing. So I've been referring about this one. This refers to the knowledge, skills, and attitudes. The knowledge, skills, and attitude means you would have identified the set of graduate attributes which is showcased by the UGC, isn't it? Disciplinary knowledge. Disciplinary knowledge is something related to knowledge. Skills, the communication skills, the skills to use the modern tools and techniques. All these are the skills. Okay, then attitude, environmental consciousness, or ethics, all these things are related to a set of attitudes. So the program outcomes, the general form will be some graduate attributes will be in the form of knowledge, some graduate attributes will be in the form of skills, some graduate attributes will be in the form of attitudes. Actually, these are the three pillars of that education: knowledge, skill, and attitude. And what are the final the components of knowledge, what are the final components of skills, and what are the final components of attitudes, which should be ensured in the students? We can call it as the program outcome. And now I'm just giving you a scale. This is the final product that we have to ensure after the completion of the program. So what is this? So after completing the program, we'll be giving the students a mark card. The marks card identifies to what level the students have scored with respect to the different subjects. That's what we traditionally give. So that is something their academical attainment. But in an outcome based education, apart from the academical attainment, we have to ensure to what extent the students have attained the competencies, because at the initial stage we have identified the different program outcomes, or we could say that graduate attributes like disciplinary knowledge. Suppose my college, they have identified a set of graduate attributes for the outcome based education like this: disciplinary knowledge, communication skill, critical thinking, problem solving, analytical skills, like lifelong learning, like that. So these are the different graduate attributes of program outcomes which our college has identified. So apart from the marks that we give to the students, we have to calculate to what extent that the student have attained with respect to the disciplinary knowledge, what extent that the students have attained a communication skill, critical thinking, etc. So this is something that we have to calculate or identify in an outcome based educational scenario. So this is that is, we have to, these are the different program outcomes. By the end of the programs, we have to ensure that whether the students have attained the certain target level with respect to these PUs. So we have to, so this is all these things are calculated in a 4-point scale, that is maximum is 4. So out of 4, sorry, the maximum is 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4-point scale, 0, 1, 2, 3. So the maximum is 3. So in a disciplinary knowledge, the students have scored 2.3. Not bad. 2.3 in the sense it is it is more than 70%, more than 70%. Out of 3, 2 point, out of 3, 2.3 is about 70%. The communication skill, okay, out of 3, 1.8, about 60% level the students have scored. So in an outcome based education, our focus is that we have to ensure that the students have attained a minimum level which you have fixed as the target for all these program outcomes. Okay, so the advantage is, if you are able to provide it like this, the advantage is that this will be just like an authentic profile to the students. While we are preparing a biodata, we will be just creating what are our strength, we will be presenting it in our own words. But when the institution gives, this is more authentic. That is, if the students is looking for a marketing job, if you're giving a card like this, then they'll be checking out, okay, what is the communication skill? Okay, it is 1.8, it is not up to the mark. If it is 2.7 out of 3, okay, we'll say that it is very good. But the thing is that if the students are not having the appropriate communication skills, if they're not able to write a proper correspondence rightly, definitely that will backfire on that institutions. So if that is if you are at a position to give like this, definitely your outcome based education scenario should be well implemented. Otherwise, if it is not true, if what all thing that you have estimated is not true, that will backfire on the institution as such. Or you can adopt the heat map like this. That is, those who have scored more than 70%, you can give a green color. Green color. 70% and above, high achievers, green color. 70% means out of 3, 2.1 and above, green. 2.1 and above. 50% and above, 50% to 70% could be considered as medium achievers. So you can give another color scheme. And below 50%, they are low achievers. So you can fix a target that according to the outcome based education, obviously I need at least 50% attainment for all these competencies. So that will be the target. And the in an outcome based educational procedure, you should ensure that this is met. So now you can just bring to your mind that particular topology. That is vision mission. Below that, program educational objectives. Below that, program outcomes and program specific outcomes. And the outcome based education focuses that the program outcomes should be met when they leave the institution after completing the program. So that is the final end of the our educational that is the final goal of the educational program in outcome based education. That is, we have to ensure that all the POs and PSOs are met. And how do we ensure how these PO and PSOs are met? They are met through the different courses that you provide in the your examination system, in your program. That is the different courses. The first semester you'll be having about 5 to 6 courses, and a lab different activities will be there related to the first semester. Second semester also you'll be having different papers or different courses and different other activities related to that particular thing. Likewise, if there are 6 semesters, the 6 semesters will be packed with the different courses as well as the different activities will be there in this throughout the program. So these courses and activities should be selected. How? It should be selected from What are your POs? What is the final PO that you have to ensure? It is on the basis of the PO you should identify the different courses which is apt for your program. And with respect to every course, because in an outcome based education everything is outcome centered, so every courses should be having a course level outcome. That is just like after completing of the program, what the student should be, what all competencies that student should be ensured. Likewise, when you come to a course level, after completing this program, after completing the, not the program, after completing the course, what are the competencies that the student should ensure on completing that course? That is nothing but the course level outcomes. So these course level outcomes are connected with what? The program level outcome, because we know that the development comes from top to down, just like a waterfalls. So you could just identify the course outcomes are the resultant skills, the knowledge and skills the student acquire at the end of the course. Knowledge, the academical inputs, and the skills, the competencies that the student should acquire at the end of the course. So in an outcome based education, whatever activity you perform in an outcome based educational format, the first thing that you have to identify after completing this course, after completing this course, what should be, what all thing the student should know, and what all thing the student should do. This should be identified first, and the entire activities of the courses should be streamlined so that these outcomes are met. So this is course level outcome. The course level outcomes are the resultant knowledge, what the student should know, and skills, that what the student should be able to do at the end of the course. So as the teachers, that is every teachers who are handling any paper or course, it is their duty to identify the course outcomes. And in identifying the course outcome, what the student should be able to do is something which should be predominantly highlighted. So every course level outcome should have an active action verb should be there. And this action verb could be identified from Bloom's taxonomy. Suppose if you are taking an action verb from an understanding level, that means you are only taking the students to a concept level. Suppose if you are identifying that action verb from an application level, that means your courses will be elevating the students to an application level. So likewise, the action verb could be identified from the Bloom's taxonomy. So now let us check the formula for writing, the formula for writing and course level outcome. So before going into the course level outcome, I will identify how to write a simple outcome, because in an outcome based education, we know that everything is outcome centered. Suppose if you are going to teach a topic for today, a single topic for today, what is the first thing that you have to identify? What should be the outcome of my class? That should be identified first, and you should customize your activities so that this outcome is met. Suppose if you are given a course, a program, that is not a program, a course, you're asked to handle a paper, a course like that. What is the first thing you have to identify? What should be the course level outcomes? That is, after completing the entire 5 to 6 modules of a paper, what the student should be able to know and what the student should be able to do should be identified first. And the entire paper should be taught to the students such that these outcomes with respect to the course is met. That is course level outcome. And the program level outcome, we already identified that what are the end competencies the student should gain on completion. So the outcome as such, suppose if I take a topic, I'm going to take a topic on democracy, or I'm going to take a topic on Ohm's law, a small topic. First thing what we have to do is that the topic level outcome, we have to identify what is the outcome that we ensure in the students. And that outcome could be written by this formula. That is, an outcome should have an action verb together with a learning statement. A combination of action verb and the learning statement will give you the format of an outcome. So when you're writing an outcome, one thing you have to you have to ensure is that is there a well-defined action verb which showcases what level of learning should happen. That is one thing. And second thing is that this learning should happen with respect to some topic of study. So a outcome should have two major components: one, an action verb, and second, the topic that is been handling. I'm handling a paper for MCA, a small component of the paper for MCA, which has been operation research. Here I could identify, I'm in an operation research, you will be knowing that in an operation research, we are dealing with a different optimization technique. Different optimization techniques we are handling. So here I have identified, that is, on completion of my classes, the student should be able to what? Appraise. Appraise means what is the level of this outcome? Appraise. Appraise means it is above application, it is above analysis, it is evaluation level. So my outcome is at a very higher level according to the Bloom's taxonomy, that student should be able to appraise. So that is the action verb. And what is this? The content or topic to be learned. What is the topic to be learned? Optimization techniques. Optimization technique. So action verb plus the topic together, I will read it as appraise. Appraise what? Optimization technique. Appraisation of not optimization techniques, not evaluation. I want what? Effectiveness of optimization technique. Because I am teaching different optimization technique to the students through simplex method, dynamic programming, integer programming, like the different optimization techniques has been taught. So the student should be able to appraise the effectiveness of optimization techniques, in which context I am delimiting it to industry, in an industrial scenario. So in an industrial scenario, which all optimization technique will be most effective, the student should be able to appraise it. So you got a clarity. So this is the outcome that I'm expecting from the students. So I am teaching a paper, optimization technique, and after completion of my optimization technique, what the student should be able to do? They should be able to evaluate the effectiveness. Evaluate, that is what I've given appraise. Evaluate the effectiveness of the different optimization technique which is relevant in an industrial scenario. Put together is an outcome. Appraise. What part is there? Learning statement, optimization technique. And since I am appraising, what to appraise? Effectiveness of optimization technique. And I can delimit it to the industrial scenario. If I'm taking the industry out, then it will be a very broader outcome. So this is how you can write a outcome. So the formula for writing an outcome will be, the outcome should have one, action verb. Action verb will showcase what level, to what level you want to take the students. In the previous day, I have given you a class on Bloom's taxonomy. Suppose if I am uh, putting that outcome like this, after my class, the participant should be able to explain the various levels of Bloom's taxonomy. It's an outcome. So what are the two parts there? Explain. And what is the learning part? The various levels of Bloom's taxonomy. So what is the outcome? Explain the various levels of Bloom's taxonomy. So what is the level of my outcome? I want to just give you some conceptual idea of Bloom's taxonomy. So the verb part which you integrate with your outcome will showcase to what level you want to take the group, or what level you want to take the students. Suppose if I'm redefining it, I want you to apply Bloom's taxonomy in framing questions from your subject. That is another outcome. What is the verb part? Apply. So apply will signifies you. I am going to take you little more higher into a functional level, application level. So apply what? The Bloom's taxonomy. That's the learning part. Where? What is the context? In framing question. So this is how you can formulate outcome. So now I am just giving you a practical section. I'm not going to make you read. take any topic, not a PO or POS or something, nothing like that. You can take a topic that you're going to that you're going to teach the students. Consider, suppose you're going to teach any topic to the students. So before going to teach the topic, what you have to do? You have to formulate an outcome related to your class. So you can write an outcome. That is, after teaching the topic, what the students are capable of doing. Formulate it. So don't here the Padlet will be there in that LMS. So there are a lot of that is your previous batches. The teachers, they have submitted a lot of work as well as these outcomes in the Padlet. So those who have got access, you can just go and check it out, and you can come across different a variety of thoughts and outcomes that the teachers who have already attended these sections, and those who are attending also, you can publish it so that you can just go and check it out. So I think you have written, because a simple statement which is clubbed together with an action verb as well as what the students are capable of doing with respect to the learning statement. Now you are going to correct what you are written. I don't say that what you have written is wrong. I don't say. I just say that it is a good practice. It is a good practice to avoid the general verbs like this. Because the outcome should be, when you're writing an outcome, the outcome should be observable and measurable. That is one important characteristics that we suggest for an outcome. An outcome should be visible, that is observable and measurable. Suppose if I write understand, it is not directly observable, isn't it? How will you able to know the students are understood? You have to give some other technique there. Suppose if I am say that explains Bloom taxonomy, explain is observable. I can directly check whether the students are able to explain it, isn't it? Or describe, or illustrate, or compare, isn't it? So if I am using such verbs, I'll be able to these the outcomes becomes more clarity, and I will be able to check by the end of the section of program whether these things have been happening. So that is what. That do not mean that this is wrong. It is a good practice, especially those outcomes that you are directly measuring. That is, we know that the attainment, the assessment goes from bottom to top. So obviously, you are directly measuring only these activities at the grassroots level, like assignments, seminars, examination, tests, etc. So when you are formulating outcome with respect to these activities, it is always a better practice to avoid these verbs. If it is at a higher level, suppose if you say that it is a program outcome, these are the higher level outcomes that comes at the higher. You are not directly measuring it. You are measuring program outcomes by measuring the outcomes which comes below that, course level outcomes, and through the course level outcomes only we are calculating program level outcomes. So when you are writing the outcomes at the lower level, it is always better to avoid these verbs, because understand, I'll not be able to check whether the students understand by observing them, or appreciate. I'll not be able to identify whether they're appreciating it. For that, I have to go, because that is not observable. Appreciation is not observable, isn't it? No, like these words may be avoided if there is any, if you have got any alternative verbs, and you will be getting a list of verbs related to the different levels of learning according to the Bloom's taxonomy. It is showcased in the LMS very. So just a comparison, not a good outcome and a good outcome. You can just check it out. The students will understand democracy. The visibility is less. You will not be able to check whether the students from this outcome, it is uh, uh, it is not clear. But if I say that describe major theories of democracy, it clearly depict what the students are capable of doing after the class. Understand democracy is to a greater extent an objective. It is an objective, that is understands democracy, isn't it? It is not, the clarity is less there. What the students are able to do is not being implicit there, but the described theories of democracy, this is what the students are capable of doing, then it is clear. The students will study about the impact of cultural diversity on nursing care. The, so there also, what the students are capable of doing is not, they study, but what they have been capable of doing is not evaluate the impact of cultural diversities on nursing. What the students are capable of doing is been very, so here describe is the verb, the theories of democracy is the learning statement, evaluate is the verb, cultural diversities on, that is the learning statement. So a, this outcome, the format of an outcome is an action verb clubbed together with the learning statement here. So the students will learn, that do not depict what the students are capable of doing. Explain the principles of drug formulation and delivery system. So that is the learning part. The students should be able to explain it. So that's how the outcome should be formulated. So when you formulate an outcome, it should have two components. One is the verb part, and the other is the learning statement to which it is connected. And you can see which is the topmost outcome here. Explain means a K2 level. Describe also is a K2 level. Evaluate is higher level, application level. So there are two things it's been identified. The verb will give you a clarity on what the students are capable of doing, and that also will show you the level to which you are taking the students in the learning ladder. And that is important for mapping of that outcome, mapping of an question to an outcome. This thing will be important, which Mendes sir will be discussing in the upcoming classes. So now we are coming to the quality check of a good outcome. What are the quality check factors that is essential for a good outcome? The first thing is that are they written using action verb to specify definite and observable behavior? Obviously, in an outcome, there should be a action verb, which will be in the lines of the Bloom's taxonomy. So whether it is observable. So in the previous slide, I told that the students learn, the students appreciate these lack visibility. So whether if there is a better word that brings what the students are capable of doing, that will give a better visibility to the outcome. So whether you are having, whether it is written by using an action verb to specify definite and observable behavior, that is what definite and observable behavior, isn't it? That is something important. Does the language describe the student's target than teacher's behavior? It is just to showcase. If it is an objective, if you're writing an objective, that means it will be more from the point of view of the teachers. And if you're writing the outcome, it is what the students are capable of doing. So while you are phrasing this outcome, then it should be read in such a way that what the students are capable of doing. That is something very important. So whether it is written in the form from the student's point of view, what they are capable of doing. So whether the outcome is phrased in a correct manner. Third one, do the outcome clearly describe the ability, knowledge, and value the students of the course? That is what. Whether if it is a topic learning outcome, whether that particular topic is being connected with that outcome. So whether the competencies or topics, etc., is been very beautifully identified in that outcome. So that is very important. Suppose if it is a communication skill, what are the competencies which makes the communication skill live? Whether the competencies are connected with that outcome, or whether the learning statement is connected with that outcome, or so an outcome should describe either the competencies or the learning statements, or all these things which has been there in the outcome. And finally, And finally, the third quality check is that, do you have an proper, that is, indicator or an assessing tool to identify whether the outcome is attained? That is, whether do you have an indicator. The indicator can be, it can be a test, or it could be an activity, or whether you can identify some method to assess whether the outcome is met. So all these four things has to be ensured to make the outcome a good outcome. So coming to the four quality check, whether the verb, and that too a verb with the visibility is there, whether the outcome is phrased in such a way that it showcases what the students are capable of doing. The third thing, whether if you are writing a topic learning outcome, a course learning outcome, whether the learning part, whether the learning domain has been properly phrased or connected with that outcome, or if it is a program level outcome, whether the different competencies and attributes that the program outcome specifies has been very specifically written there. And fourth one, whether do you have a clear indicator or measuring tool to identify whether the outcomes are met. So these are the four quality check that should be ensured in writing outcome. So these are some of the small sample outcomes, sample learning topic level outcome, topic level in physics. When I'm teaching Hooke's law, an outcome is that what I've written in red is uh, that action verb. So what the students are capable of doing? Apply. What? The learning statement. What? The law of physics, or I can say that Hooke's law, to compute different types of responses like that. Okay. Commerce, I'm just going to teach about the principles of organization. What the students, I'm just an introductory class, I'm just going to teach some concepts. So what do I expect from the students? What the students should be capable of doing? Explain the various principles of organization. So I'm going to teach the different principles of organization. So this is the learning part tagged together. And this together shows what the students are capable of doing. And is there any method? Okay, I can ask questions through observation, or I can put a test so that I'll be able to identify whether they could be able to explain it. So all the four things are met. So like what? Demonstrate the ability to use or evaluate the safety likewise. So these are some of the sample outcomes which I've just showcased it to show both the parts are there. One is the learning action verb, and the other is the learning statement. So now we have got some clarity regarding how to write an outcome. So in writing an outcome, there are two components, one action verb and the other the learning statement. Now I am going to just uh, that is we have already identified PO, PSOs and COs. So how to write before, when we are explaining at the initial stages, we have when we are explaining at the initial stages, what we have identified is that we have identified PO as graduate attribute. So graduate attribute, I will say that communication skill is a graduate attribute. Critical thinking is a graduate attribute. The modern tool usage is a graduate attribute. So how can we write a graduate attribute into an outcome statement? So before, I think there's some traces of confusions where sometimes I say graduate attribute, sometimes I say program outcomes. Both of them are same. The graduate attribute is the essence, and when this essence is written in what the students are capable of doing, we call it as a program outcome. So the structural design of a PO and PSOs. So now we have identified, I have taken two graduate attributes, one communication skill and the other modern tool usage. These are the graduate attribute. How can I write a graduate attribute into an outcome statement? Outcome statement is nothing but what the students are capable of doing. So for writing a PO, for writing a program outcome as an outcome statement, the structural design is that there should be a action verb plus the graduate attribute. What are the graduate attributes? Because the POs, we identified the POs are the set of graduate attributes. The graduate attributes are nothing but a bunch of competencies, a bunch of attributes. For example, if I say communication skill, what constitute a communication skill? The ability to read, the ability to write, ability to comprehend, ability to negotiate, ability to communicate official correspondence. So all these things together, we can call it as graduate attribute. Not graduate attribute, communication skill. The graduate attribute communication skill is a combination of multiple competencies. So how can we write? I will be writing demonstrate. What is demonstrate? Demonstrate is a verb that comes at an application level. Bloom's taxonomy. Demonstrate what? Functional ability to read, write, speak, comprehend, communicate effectively using modern medias for participating successfully in social, career, and life situation. See how a graduate attribute communication skill is been translated into an outcome statement. An outcome statement means what the students are capable of doing. When I say communication skill, what the students are capable of doing, that is what I've written there. So what is the verb part? Demonstrate functional ability. Demonstrate what? Or what is the functional ability? Reading, that is one competency. Writing, speaking, comprehending, communicating effectively using modern communication medias. So these are the competencies. And what is the context? In the previous outcome statement, I have clubbed three things. Action verb. Second one is the learning statement. And the third one is the context. Here, what is action verb? Demonstrate. What is the competencies? Instead of here, here it is graduate attribute. Graduate attribute is a bunch of competencies. So we are writing all the competencies appropriate to this particular graduate attribute like this. And finally, I am writing the context. What is the context? Participating successfully in social, career, and life situations. That makes it a complete program outcome. Likewise, modern tool usage. Modern tool usage. The student should be able to use a modern tool. How can I phrase it like this? Here I have taken only one this action verb. Here, apply, use, and operate. So when you're writing program outcomes at the higher program outcomes and program specific outcomes at the higher level, so you can use multiple action verbs. When you come to the lower level, CEO or the course level outcome or the topic level outcome, it is better to use a single action verb because this is comprehensive. Program outcomes are some comprehensive statements. So apply, use, and operate. What? Apply, use, and operate appropriate modern tools, techniques, and resources to various activities of life, career, and higher education with the knowledge of its limitations. So this is how you will be able to write. So this modern tool usage is the graduate attribute, and this graduate attribute written in the form of a verbal statement, we can call it as a program outcome. That is why in the initial cases, we identified what are the goals. For actualization of the goals, what are the graduate attributes? And these graduate attributes are written in the form of the outcome statements. And these outcome statements are showcased as the program outcomes. Why? Because on completion of the program, the assurance of this program outcome should be made. That is what outcome-based education focuses. That is prefixing the endpoint and working, streamlining that activities to the endpoint so that the end is met. This is the most simplest thing that I could say about the outcome-based education. Now, obviously, there is a frequently asked question: how many graduate attributes would be appropriate? Normally, it is from the college level. The graduate attributes or the PO are formulated at the college level. So normally it is a good practice to identify between 8 to 12 graduate attributes. You can have any number, but an optimum number which is identified as ideal is 8 to 12. And now the structural design of program specific outcome. The program outcomes are common to all the program. Program specific outcomes are something which is specific to that particular program. If it is a BCA program, the BCA students have something specific outcomes. If it is a BCom, something specific to that program. So here, the way of writing the program specific outcomes is like this, because the entire activities related to the programs will be having will be related to that particular program specific outcomes. For example, this is a sample program BCA. In BCA, I have written 3 program specific outcomes. What is this? Apply. Apply what? That is the action verb. And what is the program specific graduate attribute related to the program? What is that? Apply what? Mathematical foundations, algorithmic principles, and computer theories and practices. So this is the sum and substances that we teach or learn in a BCA program. That is, if you are taking the entire curriculum as such, it is based on the mathematical foundations will be there, algorithmic principles will be there, computer science theories and practices will be there. So the entire content of the BCA programs should be brought to an application level. That is the first outcome. So whatever you learn in with respect to that programs should be brought to an application level. That's what I've showcased here. The second being a BCA program, develop software system and program with ethical concern. Develop. So, being the students, the graduates under the BCA computer applications, they are more related to development of the program. So, they should be able to develop independently. They should be able to develop software systems and programs with ethical concerns. With ethical concerns, that is something very important. That is the context, or that is any specific, because if you're making unethical hacking or creating viruses is not good. So whenever we work with that, these things, that is the value factor also may be added to that. Then the third one, use new design methodologies, operating system languages, other software development tools within reasonable time constraints. So that is also with respect to the BCA, because the technology which is current today will be outdated within 6 months. So whatever things comes, they should have the ability to what? Use newer developments in their area within the restricted time, within the reasonable time constraint. So this is how it should be written. So here you can identify a common pattern for writing program specific outcomes. The entire content related to the program should be brought to an application level. And you should accommodate the latest technologies developments in the field and bringing it to the learning environment, so that the students can be abreast with the latest developments. Likewise, you can just phrase your PSOs like this. And finally, writing course level outcome. Before we have taken a small topic, democracy, or Hooke's law, or principles of organization, a small topic, and how to phrase an outcome. So this is what every teacher should know, how to write a course level outcome. There are 2 ways of writing it. Normally, wherever we go for training sections, one common practice that we see is that if there are 5 modules in a course, 5 modules, take the first module. There will be a lot of content which has been showcased there. You can ask a question to yourself. After completing this module, what the students are capable of doing? You can just make a list of this. And you can make a comprehensive phrase, a comprehensive statement, what the students are capable of doing. And phrase it in such a way that there should be an action verb and an outcome. Then it becomes an outcome related to the first module. So whatever question you are taking from the first module, it will be related to that particular outcome. So if there are 5 modules, you can have 5 outcomes, something like that. Or if the module size is very big, if you want to partition it and it into 2, you can have 2 outcomes related to the modules. So it all depends. So the thing that you have to do is that you ask, you are for your topic, you are the resource persons, you are the master. You can ask yourself, what do the students, what the students are capable of doing after teaching or completing that particular topic. You will be getting some answers. That answer, you can reframe it by identifying an appropriate action verb to what level you're going to take the students, as well as by integrating it with the action verbs. So that is how you can write one way. And something, this is a cross-sectional way. One module, 1 or 2 outcome, like that. Sometimes if all the modules are having the same pattern, all the modules are having the same pattern. For example, the topic which I am handling, this operational research, all the modules is having same pattern, because they'll be having a general blending program or product mix program. What we have to do is that we have to create a model. Then we have to solve that model, find the solutions, and we have to validate it. Now, the next topic will be transportation assignment problem. There also we have to formulate, then solve, validate. So, if all these modules are having a same pattern, you can just have a longitudinal, like for formulation. Formulation of the model could be taken as one outcome. Then solutions or validations, like that you can. Or the same thing, you can ask the question like this. Instead of that 111 module, you can take the entire course as a whole and say, on completion of the entire course, what the students are capable of doing. You'll be getting some answers. You'll be getting a list of answers. You can convert that answers into action verb and the learning statement to which that answer is been connected. So this is how we have to write the outcomes. So to club up, there is one thing to be added. There we have got one task connected with this segment that I'll be explaining. So to club up, what we have discussed is that why and what of OBE. OBE is nothing but which focuses on what the students are capable of doing as well as knowing. And we have just discussed the different components. The topmost is the educational goal before planning, what the students are capable of doing when they're learning, when they're leaving the college. And to ensure that what all graduate attributes you should ensure in the students. That graduate attribute, when it is written in the form of an outcome statement, it will become a program outcome. So why we are identifying program outcome first? Because that should be showcased first, and all that activity should be streamlined so that these POs are met. So all that activities means the different activities related to the PO will be the different courses. First module there, in the first semester there will be about 4 or 5 courses. Second module, so likewise. So each courses should be streamlined to that particular POs. So since it is outcome based education, when we are handling a course, what is the first thing that should come to your mind? Identify what the students are capable of doing on completion of that course. Identify it first and ensure it by your activity. If your this course level outcome could be further fragmented into topic level. When you go to the class, first identify what the student should be able to do after my class. You formulate it as a topic level outcome. Ensure it. This is how the outcome based education works. That is, all activities are centered around some outcome. If you're giving a project, if you're giving an assignment, what is the outcome you expect from the assignment? Fix it first and formulate that assignments in the line of that outcome. That is how the things has to be done. And this is a quality check. I have just given you for quality check of an outcome. This will be available in the LMS. In the right side, these the quality checkpoints is been identified. One thing, whether there is an action verb which is observable. Second, whether this outcome is been phrased in such a way that from the student's point of view. Third one, whether when we have written program outcome, uh, we have connected the different competencies, ability to read, write, etc. When we have written course level outcome, the learning statement has been tagged, isn't it? The students will be able to explain the various theories of democracy like that. So whether the learning statement or the attributes is been very clearly connected with that outcome. And fourth one, whether there is an assessment tool for by which you can assess. So here what you can do is that you can just give the name of the course, then you can give the code like this. You can type it here, whatever, CO1, CO1. You can just type here what is the CO1. Suppose appraise the effectiveness of optimization. So when you add it, the CO1, the code will come here. When you enter it, that will also come here, and you check. Okay, uh, whether quality check one, whether there is an action verb. Okay, appraise. It is there. Second one, what is that? What the students are capable of doing. It is written from the student's point of view. You can just drop down is there. The optimization technique. The content part is connected. The third one, okay, I can administer a test or something like that. So all the four criteria will be there. So what is the remark? It's a good outcome. Suppose if any one of the criteria is not met, suppose if the last one is not, the outcome needs improvement. So this is a quality check by which you can showcase the different outcomes which is connected with your course that you are handling. Probably it is a good practice to customize the outcome to 5 to 6. That will be, otherwise by the end of the course you have to sit and calculate to what level each student have attained these outcomes. So this is the quality check of that outcome. This uh, file, this Excel sheet is available in your LMS. You can use it. So this will be some activities by which you will be able to work with outcomes and have a deeper understanding of the outcomes and identify whether the outcomes are up to the mark. So now, okay, we are concluding this segment, and I think I'm keeping this platform open for you to put some queries. So over to you, Raki. If there is any queries related, you can put it so that we can keep answering.
So, if you have any queries, please enter into chat so that we can clarify it. So, if any of you have any questions to ask Sunil Job sir regarding today's session, please make sure that your question is quite understandable. Okay, so we have a question. Is the PEO outcome to be measured after 5 years?
No, actually, PEO are just the PEO are just the educational goals. So why I mentioned 3 to 4 years is that after completion of the program, the major influence that they have accumulated from their institutions will be influencing them for the first few years. And later, definitely, the other activities of life and experiences will be influencing them. So while formulation of the PEO, we will identify that the first few years, what the students are capable of doing, and on the basis of that only we'll formulate the educational goals. And the PEO is not directly assessed by the end. That could be calculated only after the students leave these institutions. We have to make follow-up study. We have to conduct indirect assessments in the form of survey from the alumni, from the employers on how the students are progressing in their workspace. And the PU attainment could be calculated only at a later stage from the real life scenario on how they are progressing in life as well as in the career space. And on the basis of that, we have to redefine our these program outcomes as well as the course level outcomes, the courses. So actually the outcome-based education is something which has been evolving to a higher level of quality. So once the students are gone, we have passed the students through the society. We have to make follow-up study on the basis of the feedback. We have to keep on changing it. So it is a constant structuring and restructuring of the quality to a higher level, so that the students will be having the best possibilities in their life and career in latter stages.
Okay.
So
That is another question. Is there a limit for the number of outcomes in a course?
is there a
Limit for the
no,
number
no,
of
no,
outcomes
no.
in a course?
What I've said is it is optimum, because in an OBE topology, we have to sit and calculate the outcome for every students. So it is always better to write outcome in a comprehensive manner, so that there will be between 4 to 6 outcomes or 7 outcomes. If you're writing 15 to 17 outcomes, you have to calculate all these to what level these outcomes are met at the course level. For if your class is having about 80 students, for 80 students you have to sit and calculate to what level these outcomes are met. And you have to give activities also on identifying to what level they have met. So it is always better to customize the outcome to an optimum level of 4, 5, 6 or 7. So that will be a better thing. And not only that, all these outcomes should be mapped to, because the first stage I'm not telling all the things, because in the later stages you will be discussing more regarding the mapping and calculation and all. So all these outcomes should be mapped to the respective PUs. So it will become more and more complex and complicated. So it will be always better to write the outcomes in a comprehensive manner, so that it will be limited to about 5 to 6 or maximum 7.
Okay, there is another question. So if a course has 5 units and if one unit has 3 different topics, how can I combine them, or do I need to 3 different COs?
Because for designing these COs, it is your creative potential will be better. The simplest way of putting the CO is that putting it in this module wise will make it easy for you to map the questions from that module to the COs. But if these 3 components, if they are not cannot be integrated together, you can put 3 COs if there is no possibility. If in any ways, if you are able to integrate, because the content which comes in one module will have some similarity. So if you can have a comprehensive view of integrating these subunits in one module, then it will be better to integrate it and put it as one CO. If there is no way of integrating, if they are different, you can have you can go with these numbers. Okay.
Okay, next question. Is PO attainment calculated for an entire batch, or can it be calculated for individual students also?
Pardon, you please repeat. I didn't, there's some clarity.
Is PO attainment,
Ah,
program outcome attainment, calculated for an entire batch,
hmm.
or can it be calculated for individual students also?
This PO attainment at the first level should be calculated from the student level only. First, we can calculate suppose if there are 100 students in the batch, you have to calculate the attainment of PO and PSOs with respect to these 100 students, and their average could be considered as the PO attainment of that particular batch. So for calculating the PO attainment of a batch, first thing you have to calculate is that you have to calculate the PO attainment of individual students separately, and then to combine them as a PO attainment of the batch, you can go with an average, or there also you can have a target. You can have a target if you can have a target like this: if 60% of the students have attained the 60% of marks, okay, the CO that PO level is being attained. So that you can make, because at the first stage itself I'm not explaining the entire thing, because there are subsequent stages they will be discussing later about the details. So for you can calculate both the batch level as well as the individual level. If you want to calculate batch level, first thing you have to do is that you have to calculate PO level attainment for individual students. So there are two ways: either the average could be considered, or the percentage of the students completing the targeted level of PO. So if they're about 60%, if you're fixing it as 60%, okay, if the 60% students complete 60% of target, you can say that the target is attained. If you're placing it as 70% of the students passes, that is uh, covers 70% of the level, then we can say that PO is attained. So it is depends upon how you fix the target. Okay, so I think I've answered.
Yeah. Okay. Another question. This outcome contains two action verbs: select, interpret. Is this correct?
Obviously, for the program level, they can be multiple. The multiple action verbs could be accommodated, because we are not directly measuring this program level. But when you come to this course level, it is always better to restrict it to a unique this 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 what we say action verb. And if you're writing two action verb, if you're compulsory, because the freedom is used, if you're writing two action verbs, make sure that these two action verbs are from the same level. Same level. The same level means if you are taking that action from this one, that is application level, you can take these two action verbs from application level. If it is from analytical level, you can take it from analytical level. So so that is the common practice, which we say that which is a better practice. So wherever possible, try to keep restrict to one action verb at course level as well as topic level. At the program level, because since we are not directly measuring PO, you can have multiple these action verbs. And but in some cases, if you're compulsory that if you need two action verbs, make sure that they are from the same level, so that in the next stage, when you come to the mapping, we can make it clear. You can identify the mapping strength if they are at the same level only. Okay. So I think it's clear.
Yeah. Next question. Output is result based, but outcome is learning based. Is it true?
Output,
Is result based,
just
but outcome is learning based.
I need little more clarity. Output is result based. Output is result based. What do you really mean by that? Uh, Please, that
Swarna Patra has asked this question.
Sorna, please
What?
unmute and just you can give some detailing so that I could uh, get what you really mean. Sorna, are you there?
Swarna, if you want, you could raise your hand so that I can unmute you. Okay.
So what I got, I'll be just making it clear. Actually, the outcome is what the students are capable of doing, and actually the outcome should be the output that we are expecting from the program or from the course. So actually the output means what the students out means, the when we go with the process, when we go with the process, the product or the output of that process, what should be the specification of that outcome. That output is the outcome. So the outcome is,
Excuse me.
pardon.
Yeah, I could able to unmute now.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I meant output is, I meant as the result, the grading which they are getting.
Yeah. The grading is only a metric.
Yeah,
Output,
that is
what you
that I meant output.
the output. Okay, the output is just a metric to measure to what level the outcome is as attained. So that suppose we told that if you want to say that you have attained a communication skill. Suppose if you are setting the target as 60%. 60, if you get a 60% or 70%, you say that okay, the communications, the outcome, the program outcome communication skill is successfully met. So this output is a metric to measure this level of the outcome. Okay, so if you have scored about 80%, that is the metric, the output. Output is a quantity or a quantification to measure the outcome. That's it. Is it clear? Okay.
Okay. We have another question. The
Okay.
skills and competencies.
Pardon?
Hello, sir. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, you are audible.
I am muted. Sorry. Did you get the point which I've highlighted? The outcome which you meant is the measurement of the outcome, isn't it? The output that you have measured, you have mentioned, is the measurement to which this outcome has attained. Suppose if the measurement is 2.7, that means out of 2.7, you have made a 90% attainment. And if you say that if you cover about 70%, that particular outcome is met, then this is an indicator to identify whether you have attained that particular target. Okay, so I think it is clear. I think I was been explaining with the mute. Okay, so now then if you have any.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. We have this last question. Can we have lower order and higher order action verbs in a single CU?
No, when you in a single outcome, it is always better to accommodate the higher order, because if you want to reach the higher order, you have to traverse the lower order. Then only you will be coming to the higher order. So once you reach an application level and showcase the outcome, then measuring or showcasing a verb from the understanding level is it's not meaningful. So the higher level will be should be accommodated in the outcome. So that will be better.
Sir,
Okay.
the skills and competencies, sir,
Okay.
the
Okay.
skills
Okay.
and competencies are needed in the
Oh,
present day time.
yeah, definitely.
And once the learning and experiential learning both part is over, we would like to relate these competencies and skill gains against an outcome. And generally, should the outcome not be kinds of skills and competencies, because everything is today, uh, even our curricula is more inclined and more focused towards hands-on learning, and then building skills and building competencies rather than bookish and
Definitely,
textual
definitely,
learning. So
definitely.
how do you measure outcomes? Should it not be on the basis of competencies or skills sets which one gains?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. You have given a very right thing. That is what you are showcasing in the program outcomes and program specific outcomes. What are program outcomes? Programs outcomes are the skills and competencies that the students should acquire when they complete the program.
Yes.
And so these the courses and the papers that you teach, that is you will be using the different papers, different projects. These are nothing but the tools for actualization of these tools and competencies. So in an OB topology, at the first level, the top priority has been given to the skills and competencies, and these skills and competencies are attained through the different courses that you are giving, that you're providing by the part of the as a part of the program. Suppose if the program has got about suppose if one semester is having 5 courses, and 6 semesters will be having 30 courses. All these 30 courses will be targeting to the different multiple skills and competencies that you showcase at the top level, isn't it? So these are the tools by which you are going to attain that. So these courses should be selected on the basis of these skills and competencies that you showcase at the top level. That is why for formulation it should come from top to down. So
Sir,
that
but
is
sir, but my basic question is that since I come from an industrial background and also from a teaching for last many years, my
yeah,
understanding is that what industry wants we don't give, and what we give industry doesn't want.
yeah. That is what in my
And
first.
what we give is a targeted kind of a work, that here is a paper, you solve it, here is a question paper, you try to answer it, and in that we find out all these substructures of course outcomes and all. But does that really pay off? The answer is no. So what can we really do to get out of these paperwork and physically build those things?
Uh,
Because the national education policy, in the concurrence with all these things, the openness being brought in into the curriculum structure, everything. So what should we do to actually actuate the skill part and the competency part, and that if we test, would that not be a need of an hour?
Definitely, that is what I in my first slide that I've mentioned. Only
Hmm.
7% of the students are successful. The rest, 93% are confused graduates who are not able to meet the demands of that industry. That
Hmm.
is why in an outcome-based education, we have erected another axis, that is an axis of competencies, which also should be ensured by the program. So we have to redefine the entire thing. That
Hmm.
is the curriculum, the methodology, the pedagogy has to be redefined by integrating multiple projects current with the industry, because the curriculum should be formulated not directly from the different books, by in consultation with the industry. What is significant in the industry, that has to be accommodated into the part of the curriculum, so that the needed skills and competencies should be ensured. That is what outcome based education focuses also. So the academical soundness which we have focused, which you have been telling in the priorly, which you have been telling, that was the traditional way that we are going along. So now we have to change the things. We have to bring about the industry. We have to bridge the gap between the industry and the academy, and we should accommodate it into the curriculum, so that these end competencies which we have showcased as the program outcomes should be met. So the entire this procedure, this methodology, pedagogy, everything has to be redefined and streamlined in the lines of outcome-based education, such that whatever competency you feel it essential should be met. So entire thing has to be restructured.
So, sir, can we not have a division of subjects? Some subjects are basically practice oriented, have a more inclination towards practice. Some subjects are all theoretically inclined, because a lot of understanding has to be brought in, and sometimes a mix and match of both is needed in certain subjects. So, those subjects which are more theoretical, which has more base of classical understanding, we do this question paper style of division, as what you have been showing to us, that after we give a question paper, we assess them for the course outcome. But those subjects which are practice oriented subjects, those subjects which are to be done hands on, in that case, should such methods which we have shown, can it work?
Definitely, because we cannot totally avoid the conceptual framework, because the education is been built, that is, the progress of the education should go in a this is a psychological and logical order. That is the basement of every domain will be conceptual knowledge. And the thing is that we should not bury our learning at the conceptual level alone. We have to elevate it into this practice level, because every theory has got some applications, because
Yes.
nothing will come up, because whatever thing that you have applications will be rooted in some theory. And the thing is that we are just that is remaining in the theory part and just burying it without further enhancement. That is what Bloom's taxonomy also is saying, because we have to give them a theoretical backup, and take the theoretical backup to the this application level, and take that application level to the further create level to bring some innovations and technologies. So both the theories as well as the practices should be there. But the thing is that in our education system, we are just burying everything into a theoretical format, and just what is this, what is that, and making the students progress like this. That is why we can see the same thing, that the students are becoming my charge is, okay, the students are becoming confused graduates when they pass out. So that has to be changed. That is the purpose of this outcome based education. Why the outcome based education become more significant is that we have to reduce the gap between the theory and practice, and make the students more and more competent and potential in the lines of our predetermined POs and PSOs. That's it.
Sir, somebody in the comment box has written, are there any good schools of engineering which might have come across your knowledge base, who would have been practicing these concepts and would have really showed a change? There was one very good question into the chat box.
Definitely. Now I think uh, now the engineering colleges are I think this outcome based education has been first started implementing in the engineering colleges, and now the most of the engineering colleges that I have met are going in a very good way to some extent. But I don't say that it is 100%, but to a greater extent they are going along in the right way, because by introducing because from the engineering domain, a lot of projects and incubation centers is being included, and they are making the students very productive, so that they can contribute well, not only as this employee, as an employee. They are becoming entrepreneurs. IITs, they are doing really well. But at this point of time, I'm not mentioning the colleges as well, but many colleges are doing very well in outcome based format.
So, do you suggest any college we can look at wherein such changes have been, phenomenally addressed too? Because most of the times faculties feel that this is an extra burden paperwork and is all to be, in a term which is created as demanded. So, are there any practical places where we can see this being practiced and the outcome being looked at? Are there any places which you have met through in your
Actually,
learning experience?
in Malaysian universities, which I have really connected with, they are doing well. But
Okay.
in Indian universities, this is the attitude, because we are considering it as a burden and a paperwork. But more
Yeah.
than that, it should not be as a burden and a paperwork. It should be a productive thing that the students are gaining through this. That is what we have to look into. That is something very important, isn't it? It is this attitude make it down outcome based education, because we are considering as overburden, keeping a track of all this progress. Because actually, in an outcome based education, there's a paradigm shift from teachers to students. We are facilitators. The teacher should act as a facilitator, and as a friend, philosopher, and guide, who are driving the students in the right way, just targeting So that our work culture as well as our modus of operandi as well as our methodology and pedagogy should change in this line. So that has to evolve in the right way. We have a long way to go in making it, if I could say, successful.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. It was a very good discussion. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Amit. So we have some questions in the live YouTube live from live. Uh, Please tell about design of CO of art subject such as political science or history.
Okay, in your when you go to the LMS, there are a number of these POs and PSOs are showcased there. I think it will be better that you could look into that, because these are some of the POs and PSOs and course level outcomes which has been showcased in the Padlet. That will be a very good learning. That's a platform of collaboration, so that you will be getting a lot of insights into that. I think you may refer that LMS Padlet. That will be better. That will be a very good learning. So you'll be getting very different views there. Okay.
Another question, do we use and begin with action verb related to affective domain for formulating POs related to affective domain?
Obviously, if your PO is related to affective domain, you can have the same formula you can have, and you can have the verbs related to the affective domain. You can check out the verbs you can Google it, and you can identify, just like cognitive domain, affective domain, receiving, responding, valuing, or organizing, characterizing. These are the 5 levels that comes in the affective domain, and there are different verbs which could be used in the affective domain, and you can use that, especially in the in some subjects which is more of arts type. Sometimes affective domain will be predominant, so you can use that verb also. There is no issue. Okay.
Yes, that's it. And if you have any other questions, we can clarify it in the coming sessions. Thank you, sir.
Okay, now I think when you start, I'm very happy that you have started thinking more and more about this outcome-based education, about the pros and cons, about your reflections, that I very well appreciate, because you have understood that concept. It signifies that, and you are that is what you could say. You have reached at an evaluation level. The different questions that you have posed has come to an evaluation level. That means you have gone much ahead in understanding that outcome-based education, and I appreciate that. And obviously, when you think more about this, definitely there will be more and more doubts can come, and definitely you can post it in our forums, and so that our forums will be live, and we will be also visiting the forums, and we can have discussions, because our subject or our experience learning becomes higher when we collaborate. So when we sit personally and learn, we will be only restricted to a niche area. When we discuss, when we share the experiences of others, definitely through collaborations, we will be learning more. So take it as an opportunity to use the forums at the very best, so that we can contribute well. So thank you, and I think I've appreciated it. I got a lot of this is also a lot of the way to think about the different areas and your concerns, and actually that also is a very good learning for me also. So thank you all, and I very happy
Good
to be.
afternoon, sir.
Okay, okay.
Good afternoon, sir. Am I
Yes,
audible?
yeah, Jasmine, you're audible.
Yeah, sir. Actually, I am teaching for Master of Computer Applications. Since
Yeah,
from last 10 years, we are following OBE. And
yeah.
what we could observe that only the teachers are learning all the BTL levels. And we are improving, but it is not reaching to the students' fraternity. And 25% of the students will see the levels and they will answer accordingly. But the rest of them, we can see whatever the questions you ask, whether you ask apply or analyze or understand, evaluate, they will answer the same thing. So how much it is, you can see it is effective and it is reaching to the student community.
Definitely, the thing is that the first thing is that once we have accommodated about the concepts of OBE, then it is we are in the level of an investigator to identify what methodology that would be better to accommodate or take the students in the lines of OBE. So the thing is that for an evaluation level question, if you are just giving the question in advance, or if you're repeating the same evaluation question multiple times, that evaluation question, that significance of the evaluation questions will disappear. As I've told in the previous discussions, that if you are giving notes to an evaluation question and ask the same questions, it will lose its spirit. So you should pose some situations. May not be a paper pencil test. You should give them situations for discussions about the pros and cons to identify the evaluation questions. For your examinations, obviously you can get a conceptual questions and application level questions. When you go to the higher order question, higher order up to the analytical level, you can put. For evaluations and for create level questions, it is not possible to assess them through paper pencil test. It will be you should give some activity and observe how they are progressing, or you can give them a debate, or you can give them an activity, or you can give them a project, how you are progressing. So the best way to identify or to assess the higher order learning is through giving them activity. That is the best method. If you are just if you want to get everything through examination and test, it won't come to the needed level that you're expecting. So there should be a difference in the approach.
Yeah, correct, sir. But the evaluation process, as you told, we can go ahead like that, project-based learning or role play or their interactions. But still in our question paper system, we are following all the 5 levels we are supposed to put. Then question paper level, we should stick up to level 1 and 2 or 3 maximum. Then level 4 and 5 should be
for
redirected to other directions.
actually for examination, you are giving them 2 hours. From 2 hours, you cannot expect a create level question from the students, because the create level is purely their own genuine contributions. You cannot set a scheme of evaluation for create level. So that is why you have to give project for them. And also for evaluation level question also, to only a certain level you can just give. Only up to the first 4 levels will be compatible for paper pencil examinations. So the rest you have to adopt strategies, techniques, so that you can identify the best the best tools for assessing them. It can be either any activity or some project or whatever thing, use say a discussion or some creation of a portfolio, whatever thing you can give them for assessments. So
that is exactly, we are following the same thing, but then the level 5 and 6 we are not at all putting up to level 4. But level 4 also, it is very difficult. The students are analyzing and writing. Up to 3 it is successful. But
for level 4, you can give a program and ask them to debug it to identify the syntax. That will be analytical. Such questions could be accommodated. I'm telling it because you are told that you are from a computer background. So debugging a program, you can put some errors and they will be not applying. They will be just identifying, analyzing the different components and debugging a program. To a certain extent, you can have an analytical question.
Even we are started off thinking open book examination also. But some students still open book also, they may not even see where that answer is there. Still they'll be searching 3 hours.
Yeah, definitely. There will be restrictions, so you have to give some clues also. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jasmine.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Yes, so we have come to the end of our session. So for the vote of thanks, I request Dr. Maya Matthew, Assistant Professor, Department of Physics, Carmel College, Autonomous Mala, deliver. I welcome you, ma'am.
અંકી 3 દીએ લાગેલો હતો.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Carmel College Autonomous Mala, would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed speaker, Dr. 𝐂𝐚𝐭𝐞, Adjunct Faculty, Marian College Autonomous, Kuttikanem, and Chief of Academic Solutions, IPSR, who has graciously shared his expertise and insights on this pressing topic. This session on outcome-based education has been an eye-opening experience that has broadened our horizons and deepened our understanding of effective teaching and learning methodologies. Sir, your presentation has been incredibly informative and thought-provoking, shedding light on the significance of outcome-based education in shaping the future of our educational institutions and the overall learning experience. We are also deeply grateful to the organizing committee for putting together such a well-structured and insightful session. I would also like to express our appreciation to all the participants who actively engaged in discussions, asked thought-provoking questions, and shared their perspectives. I want to extend a warm thank you to all the behind-the-scenes individuals who have worked tirelessly to ensure the smooth execution of this event. We all look forward for more informative sessions in the coming days of this FDP. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, ma'am. So with that, I would like to bring today's session to the close. So we'll meet tomorrow at the same time, and please use the same link to join. Have a great day.
So thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.